AskReddit by Double D Day 69. What does Europe have that North America does not? Wild hedgehogs. The best part about having insomnia in late summer is hanging out in the garden and suddenly hearing noises you'd expect from the depth of hell, before a cabbage-sized spiky guy scuttles out from the bushes on his hunt for slugs. The noises hedgehogs make are unreal. Old York. Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. 50Hz electrical. 380 volt 3 phases in residential. I know you can have 3 phases there too, but like, I have it, in my apartment. Edit, you can have 1 phase 230 volt, 3 phase 380 volt, 400 volt, 3P plus neutral. And in Belgium you can also get 3 phases 230 volt, no neutral, in some old installations. That €1 I dropped that one time on vacation. Sorry mate, I was the one who found that and I already spent it. Wild hedgehogs and nightingales. Excuse me, the nightingales don't exist. Some say they are a part of the Thieves Guild. But there is no way that group is real. Neanderthal fossils. That's no way to speak about the royal family. Edit, damn this kinda blew up lol. Unexploded ordnance from 2 world wars. I think America has at least 2 unexploded atomic bombs that the government couldn't find after they were lost in a plane crash. Edit, it's more than 2. Explosive ordnance hiding under rocks, inside trees, buried just under the surface. Every few years you hear about someone in Europe finding a resin kitchen 7,105,686 light, or a Rel Heidelberg Deck 8, with sometimes disastrous, sometimes hilarious results. Edit, this comment seems to have been a little misleading. While news items related to UXO make it from Europe to the US every year or two, it is being found on an almost daily basis. Usually it is disposed of without incident. Second edit, of course it happens in the US too. But for the most part it is near military bases or military training sites and poses a smaller danger to the public. In Europe it's everywhere, left over from 2 world wars and several smaller, more recent ones. Plus nobody knows where most of it is. As several responses have stated, in Europe you can find UXO just digging in your backyard. In 99.9% of North America this is not the case. https://www.lbc.co.uk/world-news/france-hospital-evacuated-man-has-wp-heinous/ and in some really surprising places. Georgia. And X200B. Oh wait. I remember when I was younger I was talking to someone on Omegle who said they were from Georgia. It was really confusing why they had such an American accent, not knowing Georgia is also a US state. Haha. Boobs and shampoo commercials. In England they have a dating show called Naked Attraction where they show full male and female nudity. Tons of really old buildings. Castles. Edit, apparently I haven't traveled to the castles in NA. My bad. Thanks everyone though. You are giving me something to my mind off of the indoor water park that quickly developed in my house. Drop the name of where the castles are and I'll add it to my list. Gotta go shop vac some more water out of my house. So many people here forgetting that Canada and Mexico are also on the North American continent. You're in for a bigger surprise. https://en.m.wikipediaorg/wiki/list_of and_states_and_and_territories_in_north_america. Deleted. What are you talking about? That's my favorite ride at Disneyland. Multi-opening windows. Deleted. Scandinavia. I was going to say parents that leave a baby outside by themselves, but I guess Scandinavia is a shorter way to say that. Bathroom stalls you can't see directly into. Never understood why American stalls are like this. Now, when I was a small child in Australia there were pay toilets in the train stations. Hence the old ditty "Here I sit broken hearted, paid a penny and only farted." Tax inclusion in prices. I still don't understand that about American stores. Edit. Thank you for all the replies and explanations. Conclusion. Government bad. Also screw Coles apparently lol. My wife and I went to Greece, Italy for our honeymoon and I loved it. You see something that's $20 and that's what it is. You don't have to worry about figuring out the tax. It's not hard, but it's annoying. The ability to say cunt and not have people act like you've just shit in the middle of their house. I was in Bali for my honeymoon. One night we found ourselves on the same table as two middle-aged couples from Australia. English not being my first language, I navigated the conversation somewhat alright until I slipped the word fuck. They immediately went "Ah, here we are," and started swearing like sailors XD. I had opened the floodgates. So apparently every nation that is not the US likes swearing. Hadrian's Wall. Deleted. Trains, in general. Foreskin. This American woman I talked to on Ike back in the 90s asked me if she could see my foreskin over net meeting. I obliged because why not? She was absolutely fascinated by it because she'd never seen one before despite having had several partners. More uncircumcised men. Better cheese. I swear to God if anyone says the two things are related I will fong you. Those things are only related in France. An effective train system. Deleted. Europe pays their service staff and don't expect the public to pay their wages, or for their staff to rely on tips. Some states, California for example, pay their service staff at least minimum wage and the staff also gets tipped. We had a server recently who is a college grad and said he didn't want to leave his service job because it paid better than a job he could get with his degree. People who want to have sex with me. Anyway, I assume that's where they are. Dang, why didn't I think of that? Come now Sebastian, we leave at dusk. I bought 2 one-way tickets to the Isle of Man. I'm assuming it's full of women and named using island logic where you name it the thing it's devoid of, like Greenland. Gapless restroom stalls. Walkable cities. I used to live in an apartment complex across the street from a grocery store, and there were no sidewalks or pedestrian crossings to walk there. Edit. Yes, of course this was America. Got to force me to drive across the street, after all. More countries. Americans and Europeans often have different perspectives on individualism, the role of government, free expression, religion, and morality. I love this response. It is true and it explains why most of us raise our eyebrows when we hear the political views of us citizens, or receive news about problems which seem so typically American because of these differences. A wonderful aversion to banal small talk. This is one of those that really depend on the country. Today, in Portugal, huge supermarket lines. I befriended 3 people in line with me. This old man started friendly yelling, "If life is so hard with inflation, how are we having such big lines?" Italy. I think they lack Denmark too. Restrictions on fructose corn syrup. Jokes about not having school shootings. Vacation time for workers. Buildings and structures that are over 500 years old. that are still used as residences and functioning buildings, as opposed to ruins or historical sites. Difficult to speak for all of Europe. Most countries have stuff that others don't. It's a wide variation and a lot of stuff, and in daily life too. Difficult to speak for all of Europe. Because of all the different languages, right?